All right, I thought I'd make a short little video on how to train your clarinet. The best advice that I could give. Okay, so when I was in high school, I was first chair. I was really dedicated to it. And people would, come up. You see, they're all going to be engineers, so they're looking for a formula on how to, you know, do this. And truth is, there is not exactly a formula. There's not like a do this and you get better. It's a lifestyle. It's a life thing. You have to dedicate your life to it, and you have to be prepared for a lot of hours spent on it. But when it comes down to it, sitting there practicing is not everything. Is not everything when it comes to the clarinet. We grow up, we hear the flute, we hear the trumpet. We all know how those are supposed to sound, but none of us really know how the clarinet's supposed to sound. And the clarinet, that thing's wild, dude. Like, if you just take to it, it's going to sound how it wants to sound. I think I heard one time, you either get a hold of that clarinet or it gets a hold of you. You play it or it plays you. You know what I mean? If you're not careful, that thing just sounds however it wants itself to sound. So I think the most important thing on improving in the clarinet is listening as much as you possibly can. We hear all those other instruments, but you kind of got to make up for lost time and just figure out, like, okay, and there is a massive variation in clarinet tone. There is, and that can be kind of confusing. But, what I would recommend is find your favorite recordings of, say, like a piece you're working on, and don't copy, but try to replicate. If you like really enjoy this tone you hear, if you really enjoy like the articulation you hear them doing, just try to play it and just try to replicate it. See, like, get that sound in your mind, hear it so much that you get that sound in your mind. Then as you're playing, make adjustments with your articulation, your embouchure, your airstream, to get to that sound. And I wish I could say, like, oh, you do this, and then you get this. It's not like that. The clarinet is not like that. You could spend hours and hours and hours practicing, but if you're not practicing the right way, it's not going to do anything for you. If you're playing your scales, you got the wrong mindset. You're doing your long tones, you got the wrong mindset. Maybe your teacher told you to do that, so you're doing it, but you're not thinking of it the right way. It's not going to do anything for you. So, when you're practicing, you really have to think, what are you doing what you're doing for, and what do you want to sound like? You know what I mean? It's very important that you have these things in mind before you even take to the instrument. That way, you know your goal. You know what you're supposed to sound like. You know what you want to sound like. Elsewise, it's just going to sound however it wants to sound. And when it comes to clarinet, like, the tone is the most important thing. Like, technique, sometimes, but people really like the tone. People, like, when you have a really good clarinet tone, it is very convincing. People love that. Get that tone in mind.